So as we can see, Chris, the cars are rolling for the warm-up lap here at the Charlotte Roval. 40 laps this evening, 90 miles. Looks like Brandon Moore qualified on the pole. John Tiller, Skylar Sixton in the second row. Brian Huntley, uh, Austin Moore in the next row. Nathan Lyon, and then Pearson, Campbell, and then Pete Woodrum. Sean Judson and Sammy Archibald, and then Aaron Bradford rounds out the 13 starters. These drivers are going to have to pit at least halfway through this race. You're only getting 23, 24 laps on a full tank, Chris, so maybe you'll
Nice and
see
tight there,
drivers
Jaden.
cutting the race in half. This can be a pretty grueling road course. Roval here at Charlotte. It's been a thing ever since the early 80s, but then reconfigured in the mid 2010s. Brought back to life, I guess you could say. That Porsche pace car about to peel off, leaving the field in the hands of Brandon Moore as they come to the stripe. Now, green flag is out. Everybody trying to navigate the final chicane as they're having to drive through that to start the race. No cautions here this evening for the road courses unless something drastic was to occur. Seeing what happened to Aaron Bradford in the 20 machine. Oh, he's going to lock up and go straight into the first turn like a couple of other drivers did. Austin Moore, Pete Woodrum, and Aaron Bradford, all three missed turn one, locked up straight head on into turn one. Woodrum locked up, but he didn't go straight on, but he's still locked up. You're going to see a lot of mistakes probably tonight. This track is very, very easy and simple to make a mistake on. It's very tough and technical. Oh, Austin just getting it wrong there. I believe that's turn 4. Apparently Brandon Moore and Jaden Sanchez. As we see here, a replay of Skylar Sixton just getting it wrong in the back straightaway, missing the chicane. John Tiller in third place. He's kind of still there. You can see both Sanchez and Moore, so still within seeing or eyeing distance. Huntley in fourth place, 6 seconds back, 6.5 seconds back is Jason Pearson. Sammy Archibald moved up a few positions up into 6th position after starting, I want to say, on the second to last row of the grid. I was really thinking Austin would be more of a threat instead of making all these mistakes like he is. Pete Woodrum replay here, going into turn 1. Another lockup. Oh, he just hits the rumble strip a bit wrong, and it turns the car just completely sideways. Not completely around, but just sideways. And a replay of Skyler. Oh man, Skyler just putting the left sides ever so slightly off. And the car didn't like that. Oh, and trying to do a 3-point turn. Maybe just got the left sides down over on that, not a bit too far over on that runoff area, coming through almost back onto the racetrack, right? But or the oval configuration. Oh, Brandon Moore makes a mistake. He hits the turtle, the big curbing going into the bus stop on the back straightaway, going into the chicane. That's going to cost a lot of time and actually having to yield at least first position by the time he's having to kind of give up the time he kind of, in a way, kind of won by kind of blowing the entry to the bus stop. Mistakes like that will add up and can be costly. You don't want to make them. A lock up there from Jaden. Jaden giving the bottom open to Brandon. They kind of beat and bang coming off a turn. I would say that's turn 3, turn 4, turn 3, turn 4, something like that. Turn 5 there. Turn 6 right here. So very off camber, awkward to the right, slightly elevated corner right there. And then you got to kind of swerve to the right left to get turned in for the off camber left-hander right there. So now Jaden kind of falling into the clutches of John Tiller. John Tiller right there all over the back of Jaden. You can really tell where these drivers are better than one another on all 3 different sectors of those cores. Brian possibly having a moment in the bus stop there. Looking back through the field, Christopher Campbell back here at Austin Moore. He's trying to rebound after his struggle. Skyler Sixton in the same boat as well. Once you do have struggles on a road course or a road course event in iRacing, it's really hard to dig and claw your way back. Top 3 only separated by 2 1/4 seconds. You'd have to say these 3 drivers are the class of the field this evening. Only 5 laps into the race, I know, but 35 more laps to go. Curious George Banana Boat car. Then you have John Tiller's admin box, then Brian Huntley's Bass Pro Shop, the Martin Truex Jr. car. Really like the job that Samuel Archibald did with the WBLR Foundation paint scheme on him and his teammates' car, him and Jaden. Really nice touches he made to those paint schemes. Love it, love it. Just giving a quick shout out there to his handiwork. Threw those together real quick. Welcome back. Indeed, Chris, I do agree. Seven laps into the race currently. What do you think so far, Chris? I'd have to say the Roval is probably one of the toughest road courses. Yep. You just got to slow enough for their liking, exactly, so. Brandon Moore, really, besides the blowing the bus stop, not full on blowing it, but the entry, he really messed up earlier. Besides that, he hasn't really put a wheel wrong. Besides that mistake entering the bus stop. Jaden's been back here. He tried a couple of times to kind of charge and make some moves to try to take the lead away, but he just couldn't quite do it. And Tiller, I was really surprised with Tiller, but now everybody now has finally completely fallen to the wayside. Judson and Moy might be in a battle back there for 7th place, but ooh. Don't know what iRacing thought we were going to see there on that replay, but obviously they wanted us to see something. But even getting our Sherlock Holmes inspector glass out, we didn't really know what we were seeing. Yeah, good point, good point. But yeah, Judson. Yeah, Judson under attack by Moore now, so Judson kind of lets Austin by, so Sean's like, hey, you caught me, go ahead. Oh yeah. It's another rhythmic track, another rhythm and flow track, so pretty much, you know, it's directly in Brandon Moore's wheelhouse, trying to have, you know, just that momentum, always trying to find it or just be on that side of the momentum. Yeah, sometimes it's better just to, if you know you can't get it locked down in time, woed down in time, just go right through it. Just stop, you know, either when you can or slow down when you can, or kind of like they do sometimes, you know, just stop on the front straightaway if you feel like you've gained too much of an advantage. So about to be 10 laps fully complete here. We are working lap 10. So 30 laps will be complete once we get back around to the stripe. JP is on the attack for Sammy Archibald here. This is 6th position. Oh, excuse me, 5th position. So JP knocking on the door of the top 5. Archie trying to be in the top 5. Ooh, what happened to John Tiller here? Oh, he has a bit of a bunkin' Bronco moment. Hits the turtle on the final corner, and that really throws him awry. Oh yeah, it's definitely a track that you can easily lock up at. I feel like I get heartburn just by watching these drivers try to brake for these corners. But as we've seen, we've seen Tiller, you know, kind of have his share of mistakes there. So, oh, Jaden with a mistake there, trying to be a bit of the maintenance lawn care service here at Charlotte. So, yeah, he just had a short. He just overdrove the exit here and then just kind of started clowning some field, but probably not too much time lost. That penalty is going to be self-inducing. I was going to say, yeah, you know, he does have a 4-second lead, but a mistake by Brandon Moore, Jaden could be right back there again. So, but now with Jaden having a couple of mistakes on the same lap, it has really opened that lead now. What has happened here with Nathan? Oh. No. Pretty much. "27 laps to go, I do believe." Like I said, I'm surprised at seeing, you know, Austin make all these mistakes, because normally Austin's normally a pretty well-rounded, pretty good road course racer. And, you know, to see Austin struggling, having all these mistakes, it's very uncanny for him at the road courses. Oh, man. And I really feel for Austin because, like I said, he's normally a real good road racer, you know, however you'd like to word it. Just sucks, you know. He's normally real good, real good speed at these road courses. So well, yeah, but he was still on the lead lap, even though with how many mistakes and how much struggles he was already like having. So this will probably more than likely put him a lap down, though, having to serve this pit stop to repair some damage to that car, because no doubt about it, it probably does have some. So there's a 10-second gap between Tiller and Huntley. Huntley probably looking to maybe try to like sneak onto the podium here. Um, so we will be watching that gap closely to see if Huntley can actually chase down Tiller, or if Tiller's going to keep having some mistakes to aid him in uh, reeling in Tiller. You know what I mean? So. I don't know if Jason is ever going to change up. He's been running that car, I swear, since they debuted that paint scheme, which I don't blame him. I would too. That's a sharp car. That is the Kyle Larson throwback for Darlington tomorrow, this weekend, you know. So at the 25 lap to go mark, we should be seeing the leaders pit in about 5, maybe 6 laps from now, even a few laps from now, maybe 3, anywhere from 3 to 6 laps from now. That's exactly almost to the point to how you want to attack that bus stop. That bus stop chicane in the back straightaway. Except for the one that he's had so far at lap 4, where he overshot the entry to the back straightaway bus stop, but Nathan getting it wrong there. Turn 6, I do believe it is. Turn 6, turn 7 complex. Oh, man. Archibald almost hit him. Oh, JP tags the wall trying to do some wreck avoidance there. That's going to cost some time to JP. Hopefully doesn't bend or break anything on that suspension. He was trying to chase down Sammy Archibald for 5th position, so. Let me get my handy dandy notes out and look and see where we are next week on the schedule. Nashville Super Speedway. Yeah, you already went there in the truck, or yeah, in a couple of weeks. It's basically that road course time of the season for everybody in the BNR racing series. It's supposed to be Nashville Super Speedway. Yes, indeed. Now the third place to fourth place gap has opened up over 15 seconds, so the hopes and aspirations of hoping to see a third place battle went to the wayside there. Just for now, maybe. Same thing with the Pearson Archie battle. You know, Pearson 47, Archie 44 seconds. So there's a few second separation there we saw whenever Pearson was trying to avoid the spun Nathan Line machine. So a big weekend of racing this weekend, Chris. Racing, racing, racing.
It's the way it should be. Every weekend.
Oh,
every
yeah.
weekend, every weekday. Just racing. Nothing else.
You have the World Endurance Championship at Spa. You've got IMSA at Laguna Seca. Right now, the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series is on right now. 27.5 minutes left in that race. They're under safety car at the moment. But, yeah, just a whole lot of racing going on. You know, the Xfinity Series was at Darlington today as well. Trucks was at Darlington last night. So tomorrow, of course, the Cup Series is at Darlington. GT World Challenge, or GT Challenge Asia, is racing at Malaysia. One of the circuits in Malaysia. Another replay here of Skyler. Oh, locking up, going through the final chicane. Comes to a halt, fires it back up. Oh, almost spins out there trying to fire it back up. Excuse me.
Continues to be the Brandon Moore show out here, the front of the Roval pack.
Oh, yes, indeed. Wondering when these drivers are going to come down and make a pit stop. Either this lap or 3 laps from now, more than likely, because I got told 23, 24 laps, so just have to wait and see. That squirrel just going to town. Oh, Campbell with a hard impact. into the wall from the transition from the Roval
Backs it right
into,
into
or
the
the
camera. Ooh, look at that right rear. Yeah, he's got the tow.
Oh yeah, he broke it to where it was stuck in place. Man, what a hard impact. That just goes to show you the impact he has right here. So the car's just gonna get out from it. Oh, it just goes tight into the wall. And oh man, hard impact to the 68 Bearded Bear Customs. And you see that car, or that tire, that right rear wheel, it's just locked up. So he notices that, and he's like, gotta. Pit stops are happening. Brian Huntley bringing his Toyota down. Skylar Sixton, Jason Pearson. So as we suspected and predicted, pit stops are happening. I believe Brandon Moore might have brought his machine in, or maybe found a mistake, because he just lost a whole lot of time to Jaden. At least I want to say he did. He's down to 6.5 seconds. He was, what, like 10 seconds? It's so confusing. Oh, Jaden pits now. Okay.
Judson gonna go as well. Gotta imagine Brandon Moore probably gonna come in this time. Already halfway. There's really no reason to risk giving time up to anyone else by having better, them having better tires.
I agree with that sentiment. Oh, Skyler. Out on cold tires. He just came. This is an outlet for Skyler. He just came out the pits and cold tires. And oh man, coming down the hill. Yes, indeed. Luckily, he was able to put on the binders and not hit that wall. Does Brandon come down this lap? You almost think he does, but from the sounds of everything, he's going to stay out on the track. He was getting it wound back up through 3 and 4 on the oval side of things, so. It's like, but what do you do whenever you do come into the pits? Like all the different strategy that could be unfolding here. Like what, I wonder what Jaden did, because Jaden really probably only fell back. He lost the time. From what it looks like, it only looks like he lost like time for fueling. I could be wrong, but I don't think he took any tires, because I feel like he would have dropped a little bit more time than that. I could be wrong though, Chris.
Well, let's take a look at Jaden's pit stop.
Gets right into the box, hits his marks.
Yeah, just fuel.
Wow. Could this come back to hurt him as far as not taking tires? Is fuel only the way to go, to maybe where you don't see a mistake on cold tires on your out lap? Brandon Moore in the pits. You see he's got some right front damage.
Let's see what he's gonna do.
So we know that Jaden has taken a fuel-only pit stop. What will the race leader do, like you just said? Dominant car of the evening. He's led every
fuel only
lap. I do agree. Looks like fuel only.
So maybe these cars not having too much of a tire drop off.
Doesn't seem like it this evening. If the leaders, like if everybody is only going to take a fuel-only pit stop here.
I'd say it's not going to bite him because he's closed in even more. He's about 4 seconds, just over.
You almost think it's a good thing to leave the tires on the car that you have on, because they're already heated up. Yeah, you're going to be coming down the pits at a slower speed, so they may get cooled off a little bit, and they may, but they're not going to take forever to warm back up once you get back out on the racing pace. So you won't hopefully drive into a mistake with the cold tires that you don't have on, right? So I'll tell you what, Jason Pearson, he's been fighting hard, trying to get inside the top 5. It doesn't look like he's going to this race unless somebody makes a mistake to no longer be inside the top 5. He was having a good battle with Archibald, but that battle went to the wayside whenever they was trying to avoid Nathan Line kind of sitting in the middle of the track after spinning out. So what happens here with Skyler? Oh, back onto the throttle on the exit of the bus stop, and the car was just like, nope, I wasn't ready for that. Like you said, Jaden has been able to run down and get within 3 1/4 seconds now again. Is that going to be enough? Can he ink any more out of that interval?
I don't know, Will. I mean, even if he does, it's going to... I feel like he might end up wearing his tires down doing it. Isn't this like what we saw at... what was it, Chicago Street? Same kind of scenario played out. Seemed like he just, Sanchez let it settle in, but then just couldn't catch back up. Seems like a familiar scenario.
Yes, sir, you're not wrong.
I'm gonna say, I think Austin Moore's done. Nathan Line is, he's 9 laps down behind Chris Campbell, but Campbell's still sitting in the pits right now.
I bet you I'd probably be 9 laps down too if I was in this race. So that gap kind of stabilized between 3 1/4, 3.5 seconds to second place man Jaden Sanchez. "13 laps remaining in this race. We suspect everybody has made their one and only pit stop that we kind of needed to see. Skyler Sixton going 2 laps down here to the race leader. What a just struggling night for a few drivers you would suspect, to have at least a decent run at it here. You know, Austin Moore, Skyler. I mean, Campbell, he was having a real good run until he whacked the wall. So, you know, nobody's really misfortune, you know, that they really did on purpose, right? Just kind of just drove into it on accident. It's easy to do here. Every time I had to, you know, go into a road course, especially the Chicago street circuit, I dreaded it, man. I dreaded going into that race weekend or that race event here. You know,
Yeah, I know, race road courses are hit or miss. Sometimes I don't. I think I like the Glen the best. Roval, not into it. Coda, no thanks. Oh, easy changes, you know. It's tough.
pretty good race for Archibald here. Good stand-up top 5 day for him, especially after where he started. I believe he started 10th or 11th, and really slowly worked his way into the 5th position, and that's kind of where he stalled out to be.
Yeah,
Yes, the driver
having a great quiet day. We really haven't talked about him, which, you know, he's not leading, but we're not talking about you. You're not wrecking, so that's good. You know, nice quiet.
Yeah, and he's got Brian not too far ahead of him. You know, if Brian made a mistake, he could be there for 4th position.
Absolutely, he's just 6 seconds behind him. Campbell got his car fixed up and back out on the track. He's gonna let Judson by. Making mine have a bit of trouble in turn 1. Oh, slams that wall.
He almost missed that little safer barrier, tire barrier part. He almost missed it, and then the right rear catches him. Like he just, I think he locked it up at the right at his turn-in point. He locked it up and just kind of slid into the wall there. 10 laps remaining, and Jaden now has the deficit to under 2 seconds, just under 2 seconds here. He can see that a Zaltis Chevrolet driven by Brandon Moore, he's there within some reasoning. Both these yellow cars are now seeing each other again. Brandon probably says, oh my, I thought I had him taken care of. I thought this was all good. More right side damage. Brandon has been in the wall somewhere that we just do not, we just haven't picked up.
He's had that right side damage for quite a bit.
He has. you know, as a second place man, being in Jaden's shoes, we got to try to put ourselves in that second place seat, and how annoying it can be being in second place for so long, seeing the leader where he's at, but you just not really that quick, or maybe you're running the same lap times, maybe you're running almost a tenth or just a couple of tenths quicker, right? But you just can't seem to run him down. But man, it's always teasing to where, they can run in front of you for so long. You can see them. It's almost like going fishing on the side of the bank, and you know, you keep getting nibbles to where it pulls that fishing line a little bit. It tugs and everything, but nothing truly ever bites hard enough to where it snatches them, right? So under 10 laps to go here, 8 laps remaining in this race. Can Brandon Moore hold the hard charging steed of Jaden Sanchez here in the Curious George car? Bet you never thought you were going to see a Curious George paint scheme, did you there, Chris?
No, I didn't.
At first I had the concept of, I told Archie, I'm like, whenever I was talking about like the concept I kind of wanted for like the Miami Vice kind of themed logo or car branding, whenever we were just talking.
Oh no! Mistake out of Moore. He was up there with the lap car.
Indeed.
Oh! It goes hard trying to correct it and compensate, and now loses the lead to Sanchez. Big trouble for Moore. I mean, so dominant. Loses the lead to Sanchez. Well,
leading 33 laps up until this point. I believe it's 33 laps. Let's rewind before this. Yeah, yes, thank you. You. So coming into the final chicane here,
I think
the final set of corners, he's approaching. Yes, he's approaching Campbell. He gets kind of compromised and held up here, and oh man, the exit's very compromising. So that catches him out, and now he's side by side with Jaden. He wants to just beat Jaden into turn 1, but by doing so, the power to weight ratio, the car just kind of whips around as he slings it down into turn 1. So now 4.5 seconds back is Brandon Moore after that crucial, costly mistake there.
Oh man, my goodness, I cannot believe that just happened to Brandon. It was just that last mistake going into the heartburn turn where it was trying to outbrake him, like you said. You just didn't want to give that spot up to Sanchez, and he pushed a little too hard into the corner and lost it. But it's almost 5 seconds now. I don't know. I think you might just giving it up right there. Sanchez likes what he's seeing,
turn
though.
Of events. Oh, yeah, Jaden, he definitely loves that. Now, he's got to, 1, try not to make any mistakes, but 2, just maybe set down qualifying laps after qualifying laps here in the final 6 laps of this race.
So fuel only is definitely the right call for Sanchez.
Archie put the number on backwards on the roof. I'm pretty sure that's yep. Backwards.
Yes, it is. Unless it's a 77.
That's funny. The little small things, the little details. Man.
It's a 77 on the roof. Like the weird, remember that Jack Daniels 07 car in the NASCAR car? It had the 7 just looked like an upside down 2 because it was such a swoop on the tail of the 2. Or 7, rather. You remember that?
Yep. Dave Blaney drove it a year before they threw Clint Boyer in the car.
I think, was it Robbie Gordon in there at some point?
Nope. Robbie Gordon drove the number 7 Jim Beam car.
That's what I meant.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, it was old number 7. Oh, 7.
Yeah, that's Jack Daniels. That was the 07 Clint Boyer Dave Blaney driven car. Like I said, after the Jack Daniels sponsorship ran out, it became DirecTV for, like, I think it was DirecTV for 2 years. And then Richard changed from the 07 to the 33. Got the BB&T sponsorship and the Cheerio sponsorship on the car. Another mistake here from Skyler. Like I said, kind of surprised to see these drivers, at least Skyler, Austin, a couple of others, just uncharacteristic, uncanny mistakes.
Campbell overshoots that one. Brandon Moore losing more time. Must have had another mistake. Sanchez just 4 laps to go. Like I said, just throw down some, not even qualifying laps, just kind of go for a little Sunday drive. Just don't give up much time. Almost 5.5 seconds now.
Yeah, you just want consistency now out of your lap times. You just want some good consistency, no mistakes, mistake-free if you can right here at the end of this race. 3 laps to go at the stripe here. So Huntley, who's been basically staying in that 4th position since he's got there. So he's had a real good quiet race as well. Looks like we're going to finish with at least 5 cars on the lead lap. So, pretty decent day out here at the Roval. We've seen just about everything, I'd say, that you would want to see.
Huntley whipping through those corners. It's again, quiet Archibald. Looks like you don't even have a scratch on that car. Probably the only one to come out of here with a 0X. Looks like Pearson got his damage repaired at some point. At least the nose. Ooh, as he smacks the wall.
That was perfect timing for us, you know, to cut away, or, you know, to cut to Pearson, and you're like, well, looks like he might have got the car. Oh, never mind, he tagged the wall.
Nathan Lyon already missing the nose of his car.
Oh, he's turned it into a modified.
Gets that wallet. Oh, loses the steering, and that is it. He's going to get that thing blowed up.
Loses a wheel.
Yeah, he's going to get that thing off the track ASAP. Not cause any issues for anyone else. Takes in, looks like he might have dipped off track again. Yeah, overshoot that corner. Just getting the grass though. And looks like we got the white flag. One more time around for Jaden Sanchez. Sitting pretty with a 4.5 second lead over Brandon Moore.
I tell you, 32 laps into this race, if you would have told me Brandon Moore was going to lose it after leading, like I said, the opening 31, 32 laps of this race, and then, man.
That is just tough.
It really, truly can be, especially, kind of lose it like that. But coming through NASCAR 3 and 4 into the final set of corners here, the final chicane, Jaden Sanchez in the 22 car will bring it home with the checkered flag, seeing it first. Brandon Moore, second step at the podium after being so dominant, qualifying on the pole, leading the most laps. Yeah, that's how I would feel about it too. Man, John Tiller, wherever he is at, there he is. Nope, that's not. That was John. Okay. So that is the podium finishers. Here is Huntley going down the back straightaway into the bus stop. So Huntley will be, well, no, I guess Archibald will be the final car on the lead lap. He got back around the race leader, it looks like, on the scoring and timing. So JP finishing in 6th position. Huntley now coming to the line.
It's kind of funny how 6th place finished before 4th place did.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Oh man, Archibald getting some damage at some point, right at the end there. Alright, let's take a quick break and actually let's get your final finishers first. Final results, Jaden Sanchez parks it in victory lane after that late race mistake by Brandon Moore in 2nd. John Taylor is in 3rd, Brian Huntley 4th, Samuel Archibald 5th, Jason Pearson 6th, 7th is Sean Judson, 8th is Skylar 6th, and Chris Campbell is 9th, Nathan Lyon 10th, Austin Moore 11th, Pete Woodrum 12th, and Aaron Bradford is 13th. Now we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with the top finishers.
Slowly
Welcome back to the Charlotte Roval for the BNR Cup Series post race. We've got John Tiller, our third place finisher, waiting for our top two. So right now, let's bring in John Tiller, third place finisher. John, you had a solid night, keeping it right in position all night. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a surprising night for myself. I honestly didn't expect to get a podium. I was just kind of hoping for a top five there. I mean, really, it was just try to keep it on track and limit your mistakes, man. It was a tough one tonight, that's for sure.
Will, what do you got?
Yeah, it looked like it was a tough, very, very tough, grueling race out there. 40 laps here this evening. We even saw a pit stop. We don't always get to see a pit stop on our road racing here in the BNR series. So great to see it. I feel like that's what really threw the wrench into the race the most was getting to see that pit stop, maybe. But I thought I thought maybe Brian might run you down. There looked like there was a time where there was only like a 10-second, 8-second gap. Maybe one of you guys might find each other. I thought maybe third place might get a bit enticing, but man, you had that wrapped up from almost the get-go. I thought you, Jaden, and Brandon were really going to get into a scrap early goings, right? But then everybody settled into a pace. Next week, John, Nashville Super Speedway. What's the thoughts, the preparation going into that not so mile and a half?
I mean, really, that's a mile and a half that races like a short track, man. So you just got to be real patient there, be on your braking points, make sure not to overshoot your corners or nothing, because you'll end up in that wall quick there. But it's a track that I rather like. I think it favors my driving style, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes, we are too. Um, well, John, any final thoughts, shout outs, after this pretty, you know, kind of not quite exhausting, but kind of grueling roval race this evening?
Oh yeah, man. Of course, I got to shout out all those teammates over there at Fueled Up Motorsports. Nate had a solid finish in 10th there tonight. And of course, Brandon, man, he was absolutely dominating, and he just made one little slip there, got up into the wall a little bit, and it kind of ruined the steering for his car there. But big shout out to all those sponsors too: Admin Box, Clark Heaton and Air, New HD Radio. I mean, without all those guys helping pay the entry fees and stuff for a lot of this, we wouldn't be able to do it every week. Thank you guys for putting on the show you do.
Well, John, congratulations on the podium, and thanks for talking to us tonight. Go get them next week at Nashville.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. We'll see y'all there.
All right. Well, we don't have Brandon Moore with us, and I don't think we're going to. I could understand being perfectly frustrated after the playing out of that one, but we do have our top finisher here, Jaden Sanchez, put in victory lane. Jaden, tell us about the race and that move that got you into victory lane tonight.
Yeah, no, race pace was all right. It wasn't as strong as Brandon's, but yeah, no, that first run before the pit stops, I decided to just chill out, see where, or no, I decided to chill out, but I also wanted to see how far I could push it without, spinning because track temp was pretty hot, I think. So honestly, any little twitch under braking and you were going right around. I had a couple near misses where I almost hit the wall and almost killed myself, but luckily I didn't. But yeah, no, I decided to, like I said, chill out, just run my race. And then I think after I pitted, I saw the gap was only 4.8 to Brandon, and then I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna just do a couple laps here and let's see if we can run him down. And I started to run him down, actually. I was catching him. I think without his mistake, I could have probably gotten the gap to like maybe a point 0.8 or something. I mean, he still probably would have won it, but I definitely would have been on his bumper, I feel. 'Cause I was catching him rapidly. We were just so even in certain corners, honestly. But just yeah, no, I mean, I tried my best, really. And then after I saw him slip up, I was like, oh, okay, Brandon, rare mistake from Brandon, and he did it again, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I passed him, and then I was like, okay, Jaden, let's not do what he just did. So yeah, no, I mean, it was interesting. It was a good race. Everyone was clean and respected. So I just,
Yeah,
like I said, tried not to boof it. So
yeah, I think his team affiliated a teammate. John Tiller said that he had maybe a bent steering link or something. He was kind of struggling after he found the wall. We didn't get to see where he found the wall at, but hopefully, maybe I can go back and find it after a while. But man, tough break for Brandon. Like you said, he was the dominant car. You were for sure having to uh, try some type of strategy, maybe pit. You pitted before Brandon. uh you were trying something different as far as maybe pitting early might help. We saw everybody as far as being on the lead lap. It looked like everybody that pitted on the lead lap was just taking fuel only, and that looked like to be the right call because there were drivers that took tires and came out on the cold tires, and they had a bad out lap. So it looked like fresh tires here uh, at the Roval was the right call, to keep the heat uh, built up in the tire, right? So um, big congratulations to you, Jaden, on the win. You kind of just let the race come to you this evening, so big congratulations there. Next week, the Nashville Super Speedway. It's not quite a super speedway, but it kind of like John Tiller said, it's a mile and a half wannabe that drives like a short track. So, what's your preparation going into that race next week, Jaden?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry. I'm not sure I'm gonna actually be there for that race because I'm part
Good point.
time. But we'll see if I show up. Honestly, just like I did today, just run my pace. I expect Brandon and Tiller to all be up there. Judson too. He's pretty good there. So, yeah, no, we'll just see what happens. If I do show up, and yeah, no, yeah, no, today's race was pretty good. I just wish that me and Brandon actually had a race. I know earlier he boofed it first, and then I caught him, and then I boofed it myself. So, yeah, no, I
Yeah, there
mean,
was a lot
just
of mistakes by everybody. Everybody made
yeah,
mistakes.
yeah. I stopped making mistakes. I think the second I saw the gap was like 4.8, and then after that, I just said lock in, and then I think I posted the fastest lap too by like a whole second because that's how hard I was trying to push and catch them. And yeah, no, I think I could have made it work. It would have been like maybe two to go, where if I had any chance, and he didn't boof it, that we were going to catch each other, or maybe get a little racing going. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it sucks. I've been on the short end of the stick 100%, so I know how he feels. But shout out to you actually, Will, because we got the Will Foundation on my car, that Sam made. So good, glad that's in victory lane, so you can see your own paint.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of a running gag. Yes, love it.
hmm So, shout out to you and your foundation. And yeah, no, we'll see if I show up tomorrow. Next week, we'll see if we can do the same thing here. So I think that's my fourth win actually in this whole deal for the open set. So yeah, it's a good deal. Hopefully we can make it five.
Yeah,
And
you've accumulated quite a few this season, even though they may not count on the Thursday side anymore. But you did accumulate,
yeah,
a whole bunch, right? That to me that still means something. You did win those races at some point. It does.
yeah.
So. But
So
big congratulations, like I
thank
said.
you.
Thanks for talking to us this evening. Like I said, go get them
No
at
problem.
Nashville next week if you do show up, like you said. And the rest of the season, because there's still the rest of the season there's still some tricky tracks if you do show up.
Oh,
The
100%.
rest. So um, yeah, thanks for showing up, competing as well tonight.
Yep.
Everybody, that goes to everybody.
Yeah, shout
Uh,
out to anyone that made it because I know a lot of people aren't, road course guys. Myself, I'm not even a road course guy. So, yeah, no, shout out to pretty much everyone, including you guys. You guys are awesome, and yeah, hopefully we can replicate the same thing next week if I show up. So, yeah, good race. So,
well, Jaden, that'll be it for us tonight. Chris, what's left tonight?
That's it. But Jaden, go celebrate that win.
Thank you.
But to wrap this one up, Will, that's rough for Brandon Moore. That's it's so much worse when
it is
when it's your own mistakes. If he didn't have that, that urge to try and keep the lead over Sanchez right there, he might have been able to recover that initial mistake. But when he looped the back end around, there's just too much. It's so much more frustrating when it's your own fault.
But he did also have that right side damage that we were focusing on. I'm assuming he got that making the transition from the infield to the actual oval configuration. That little short shoot there that we saw a lot of drivers kind of just slam the wall. I'm assuming that could have been where he picked up the right side damage and maybe got the toe askew. So, I mean, once you're fighting with damage on your race car, it doesn't matter if you're the leader or last place, you will be struggling, and it will be a fight trying to turn it into a corner, and whether you're trying to keep the lead or not. Yes, we all have been there, and it is a struggle. It hurts. It does. But next week we will be at Nashville Super Speedway. Me and Chris here with 15 Studios. So, Roval, man, it was exciting. It had everything. It had, you know, even though you don't have cautions on the road courses on the iRacing, here platform, but I tell you, it was still an intriguing race from start to finish, Chris.
Absolutely is a good race here tonight. But that's going to do it for us here at 15 Studios. Until next week, congratulations to Jaden Sanchez on tonight's win. We'd like to thank you for joining. Next track.